Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Allison Cruz, and it's with a heavy heart that I have only one thing left to say. Although shadows may die twice, today in Sekiro, we're gonna be doing a hell of a lot more of it. I figured it was nigh time for us to finally explore the novel concept known as death, which I'm sure if you've played this game you're more than familiar with. Experience toward the next skill point and current set in hand are halved when you die. Everything lost is gone for good, which means you can't go back to where you died and pick up your souls or kill the last enemy who got a cheap shot off on you and get your blood echoes back. No, there's no way to get that back. But luckily, it doesn't count your skill points nor the coin purses in your pants. And through the grace of the gods or Buddha, it may not be impossible to escape this means of death. So I did the sensible thing in between recording sessions, and I went through and made a bunch of purchases and leveled up to get my next skill point so our losses here aren't incredibly catastrophic. As you can see here in the reservoir, where we had once busted out of a very poorly secured well, many enemies are roaming around and they don't really seem to know what to do. Also not a great shot if you ask me. Oh my god, right on the chin. Jesus Christ. Are you guys good? Please, by all means. Go ahead and murder me. So we've died a few times in the past, and you can resurrect so long as you have the nodes to do so. You'll notice though, even though we have 2 full nodes of resurrective powers, we are unable to access the second one until everyone here is either dead or we run away towards a place of relative safety, which is, you know, easier said than done. Darn. God. It took all of you to take me down, did it? But if you're lucky and you get graced by Buddha, you can receive unseen aid, of which is a 30% chance of getting. So this is the only way you can avoid losing out on your goods, and just make sure you don't die too much because it's kind of a warning shot if anything. That's actually really fortuitous that that happened on our first death, but let's go ahead and try this again. I will give you guys another chance to try to kill me. Good God. The world's worst marksman of all time. I actually didn't mean to do that either, but that's fine. We have to die a couple of times here. Here, let's try it again. Well done, gentlemen. You did great. Yeah, so if you can see your health and your experience the second you spawn in, that's when you know unseen aid didn't kick in. Now, as for the bite down that I purchased from the Black Hat Badger, essentially what this allows us to do is get ourselves a free heal, essentially. When you're on the brink of death and you don't want to lose your resurrection node, bite down and you will immediately kill yourself. The reason why you'd want to do this is because when you resurrect, did you see that? You still have your second node, which is great and exactly what I was looking for. It's very nice to have, and definitely something you want to consider using in the future. One more thing while we're here. Jesus. Can I get a soft hit? There we go. Oh, and I'm dead anyways. You know what? Here, let's go ahead and use this, I suppose. I just need somebody to tap me on the shoulder. If you fall to your death with a resurrection node to your name, and you don't have enough health to survive, you'll immediately die. So try to avoid that, if you can. Somewhere a pain cough rings out continuously. The man who coughs zealously sculpts statues of Buddha to avoid being consumed by the building flames. Owning this item reduces one's chances of receiving unseen aid, and typically, it happens in droves. The coughing and wheezing sounds of a man who makes his living dealing in information, yet cannot remove himself from compassion. The info broker has also come down with a terrible case of the coughies. The more one with the power of the dragon's heritage dies, the more a sickness known as Dragonrot spreads through the world. Dragonrot is not caused by resurrection. It has a chance to occur only when the wolf truly dies repeatedly, as we had just done. So, the more of the rot essence you have, the worse your life is going to be. Unseen aid at 13% is honestly about how it feels normally when you die, but it's still very unfortunate, and certain NPCs in their quest lines will be unavailable to you so long as they are afflicted with this disease.
どうした理由がよ。よどみのあふれで振りまかれ、やがて死に至る病じゃ。なんだとわしのことなら心配いらん。あいにくとまともじゃないんでな。じゃが喋るのは面倒じゃ。あとはエマに聞け。
Fortunately, most of the merchants and people of great importance to the story, like the sculptor, will still be able to deal their business, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But the old woman back in the little Harada estate, she sometimes will come down with it pretty bad, and it's very unfortunate. But this time, it looks as though our friend the info broker, he's the one who suffers.
お主どうした？息ができねえ。畜生め、このまま死んでたまるかよ。
I'll make sure you don't, Fujioka. Well, this is all a bit of an unfortunate situation. Let's see if Emma, the physician, has anything to say about it.
物資殿には会われましたか？
あ、俺は。
はい。我が師道元より聞いたことがあります。流院は海星の力を授けることができる。しかしそれは常ならぬ力。繰り返せばやがてよどみがあふれ、関わった者に病として降りかかる。その病を流害と呼ぶ。知りながらそれを止められなかったは私の不明です。すみません。
その流害を治す術は？
わかりません。ですが突き止めねば。まずは死の残した記録を当たってみます。
頼む。
Ooh, that is not very promising. If even Dogen, if he was not even able to figure out the cause of Dragonrot nor the cure, would Emma be any more successful? Let's go ahead and rest up. And hopefully, yeah, she's gone. This is good. Because she's going to be in here, cavorting with the sculptor. But this might help.
何をしている？
ああ、あなたですか。流害の調べのため、仏師殿が吐いた血の塊をいただいていたのです。
血の塊？
はい。咳とともに出たものです。血の色がわずかによどんでいるような。しかし、これだけでは定かには。
できることはあるか？
流害にかかった者が吐いた血の塊。 それがもっとあれば、より詳しい調べをできます。
竜害にかかった者がいれば当たってみよう。
お願いします。
Say no more, Emma.
では、また。
I think we know just the gentleman who might be able to aid in our research. Listen, this is going to be a very odd request, but I'm going to need a little sample of your lungs. Let's do it.
血をもらうぞ。
I'm so glad that we were able to do that. Perfect. I hope I don't need to reset the area, but something tells me probably not. Hey, Emma, you would not believe who I just ran into out there.
お前さんも来たのか。にぎやかな答え。
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Alright, now, as I was saying...
調べのため、物資殿の他にも、竜害にかかった者が吐いた血の塊が欲しいのです。
わかった。当たってみよ
う。お願いします。
Yeah, I can't even hand it to her.
では。
Alright, well, back to the idol I go. Just to make sure that I don't stay too idle. And usually this is a good way of resetting the area in case you were somewhere very close by. This comes into play a little bit later when we just need to keep resetting the place, but for now, this'll do.
狼殿、よく参られました。
Here we go.
手に入れた。
血の塊ですね。見せてください。物資殿のものと同じように血の色がわずかによどんでいる。だがこれは、
足りるか。
おそらくはこれで竜害の調べを進めます。また戻った時に解を得ていること、期待していてください。
Well, that sounds pretty promising. Huh. Alright, well, I suppose if I just wait here for a little bit and twiddle my thumbs, then I think we might be onto something. Resting one more time grants Emma the time she needs to make that breakthrough.
待っていました。
わかったのか。
はい。解を得ました。竜害の源。それは血のよどみです。
何故血がよどむ。
あなたはたとえ海星の力が尽きていたとしてもいずれ蘇っています。代わりの力をどこかから奪っているのでしょう。
竜害になったものからか。
おそらくは竜害になったものは人が人として生きるための当たり前の力を奪われています。故に血がよどむのでしょ
う。どうやって直す。
奪ったものを返せばいい。これを受け取ってください。
She bestows upon us the dragon's blood droplet, which we already know because we have one. Restore the power of life to those who have been drained of it by offering this drop to the sculptor's idol with the recovery charm in hand. In turn, all afflicted with the Dragonrot will be healed. The incessant coughing must cease. And the recovery charm to go along with it. Perfect. Let's do it. So apparently, it can be consumed to heal Dragonrot from all those afflicted, but you want to be careful because there is a very limited amount of dragon blood droplets out in the world. So use sparingly and hopefully don't waste it. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and do it. The Dragonrot has been healed and everyone has been restored to health, which is great. Did you see that, Emma? That was incredible.
武士殿の流害治ったようです。これを武士殿に渡してください。
Oh, and she gives us Ashina sake. While it does not contain water from the fountainhead, it is made from the purest of waters and is a drink beloved by the people of Ashina.
これは
あの人の好きなお茶です。怪奇祝いに良いでしょう。
Absolutely. You know what? Let's do it. He's already had a taste of the unrefined stuff. Let's bring him a treat.
茶を持ってきた。そうか。まったく世話焼きやがって。
Well, I think you're gonna be changing your tune a little bit once you get a taste of this.
茶だ。うまそうな茶じゃ。もらうとするか。しみれ。こいつを飲んでるとエマの父を思い出す。エマ殿の父上とは道元。あいつは希代のクソ師だった。そしてからくりにも明るい。いや、からくりバカの息か。ちとふざけたやつだが、わしの恩人よ。ああ、お前さんの恩人でもあるぞ。どういうことだ？腕を失ったわしに道元が作ってくれた。今はお前さんの左腕にあるそいつをな。もっとも義手作りも初めは思うようにいかず、幾度も幾度も作り直してくれた。どうした？忍び義手をまともに動かす修練じゃと言ってな。エマにせがまれ、駒やら何やら掘らされたものじゃ。そうしたことを重ね、忍びの牙と呼べる代物となった。いわば忍び義手は道元の忘れがたみじゃ。忘れがたみ。随分と経つ。忍びを捨てたわしじゃが、それだけは捨てられなんだわ。
Oh man, his reputation certainly precedes him, and I think that's probably one of my favorite conversations between the two, and learning the backstory about Dogen and his technical prowess.
ではな、また。
Well, we have spent so much more time here than I expected to in this episode that I apologize in advance, and I will make it up to you post-haste. Let's head back to the reservoir. You know, if I'm being honest here, I'm still a little upset at the behavior and decorum of these fucking assholes disrupting the hell out of my presentation on death. And by God, I'm gonna learn them a lesson or two.
この辺りに忍びが入り込んだそうじゃ。探してくれ。心得たが、最近頻繁ではない。いや、それだけ戦が近いということじゃろう。だからこそ、放ってはおけぬでな。
I do not think you understand the extent to which you have jinxed yourself, my good sir. We've also got really overzealous gentlemen, and no, dog, please don't. It's okay, just be free. You don't have to do this. I am so sorry. They trained you too poorly, I'm afraid. Well, I guess if we had engaged in more honorable combat, we might have been able to get some more rejuvenation for our bubble. Although this is not a bad place to do it. With so many enemies and a balloon of soul popped, you might be able to get a full node here if you're efficient about it. But as you can see, we haven't been filling it at all, so Definitely want to take that into consideration as we... Oh, no. That's not good. I think we may need to take a more diplomatic approach here and change up how I was planning on doing this. First and foremost, let's head to this gatehouse, shall we? Because we have a fancy new shiny key that we can use to obtain one of the greatest treasures known to man. The heavy coin purse. That's right. Where has this been all my life? Nah. Of course, the true prize is gonna come from this chest, and trust me, you want it. Because we have Gyobu's broken horn. The horn contracts to pull enemies in, also capable of stripping crude armor. When the horn was broken during the rebellion, Ishin praised it for its splendid shape, awarding Oniwa with the cross-bladed spear of Shuzen Tamura. Well then, that is quite the decorated history behind that weapon, and I'm glad we have it. I'm sure the sculptor is going to have a field day with that one. But in the beginning of the game, did we walk past this, or does this spawn later? Because I wouldn't be surprised if I did just ignore it in my efforts to eavesdrop. This guy right here. There you go. Nice and gentle. And luckily for us, this guy is not glitching into the floor and freaking out so that he can notify all of his friends that we're here. That's happened sometimes. Oh boy. And we've got Hammer Bro number 1 over there. Is he just stuck? I thought he was patrolling just a second ago. Did he change his mind? Or, huh? Look at those cheeks. Oh my god. I'll take that. And you, sir, here, let's stay away from the watchful eye of, oh my god. Why? Timing, thank you. Oh, this is bad news. I'm gonna go this way. Uh-oh, that guy saw me. There we go. Good shot. Nice effort. Not good enough. Oh yeah, there's his buddy. Something is afoot here. Oh well. Must have been the wind. And this guy, what in the... Alright, well. Not what I meant to do. Thank you. Yeah. I was gonna say, we probably only need to backstab the big guy. But maybe we can even get a twofer out of this. I still need to show off the Sabaminaru. But I think if we can at least get this, we should be fine. Sir, oh sir. Yeah! That is how it is done, I'm afraid. I think that's everything here, which is nice for us, aside from that fistful of ash, because we have a mini-boss awaiting, and I noticed this earlier, but normally this guy is supposed to be on this first landing after this set of stairs and facing out towards us. Instead, he's done the complete opposite and is now occupying the tower. Something has his undivided attention, and that's really unfortunate because normally mini-bosses are pretty consistent in this game, and as of this project and these videos, they have not been. So getting this death bubble might be a little tricky, but if we play our cards just right, we might be able to get him to just turn around. He heard a pebble get shoved and he immediately reacted. That's very annoying. Well, at least we have the continuation of the old stomping grounds, which is not too bad, I suppose. You just probably want to avoid these grapple hooks and hope that he ends up just kind of resetting to where he's normally supposed to be. Because you can fight him inside of the tower, and it's a pretty miserable experience. I would not recommend it. Oh my god, he is there. Well then, I suppose we may have lucked out. But yeah, he sometimes will get caught in this cage and then will not leave. He just simply is unable to, and it's not very fun. We'll look at the remnant in just a moment, but as it stands, it might behoove us to use some candy here, so I'm gonna do a little dance right in front of him, throw on some ungos. Because this guy hits fucking hard, man. It's the return of the Yamauchi family, and He is got a bit of a chip on his shoulder, so what we want to do is look out for a very specific move and maybe move out of the stairwell, because your Makiris are usually, oh my god, there we have it. They do not connect like you would expect it to. He's got the sweep, but if you do perfect parries, you might find yourself at odds with him losing his balance and leaving himself very vulnerable. There we go. Oh, and that is that. So close. Yes. Oh. That could have gone so much worse. Might need to catch my breath for that one. But yeah, guy hurts. He's really freaking strong, man. Well, we got some scrap iron, and I say we should probably go and see Lord Kuro's thoughts after we left him all that time ago.
お主は言ったな。なすべきことをなせと。それが未だ見出せぬ。わからぬのだ。龍院は何故私に授けられた。
I suppose that is a question we may or may not have answered. As it stands, I'll go and just toss that on for safety, and what you want to make sure you do is head up here and grab this item, because it's yet another bundled Jizo statue. Great for effectively restoring a node of your power, and otherwise saving you in a fairly harrowing situation. I mean, you can only hold one at any given time, but it's still not a bad idea to use in the heat of battle, especially if you think you're close on a certain boss, or you just need that extra push to get you all the way to another idol. Yeah, I think we're done here. Let's go and continue on back over here for an introduction to a new tragic figure in the Lone Wolf's life. This is Jinzaemon.
Makoto, しみ入る。美しい。じゃが、誰かを乞うような、どこか悲しいねじゃった。おい、誰を呼んでおる。もう一度聞かせてくれ。お主。わしは熊の陣左衛門と申す。堀回りの見回りを任ぜられております。見かけぬ顔だが、いずこの組衆か。明かせぬ。明かせぬとな。さては忍び衆でござるか。明かせぬ。これはご無礼を。忍び衆ならばさもあろう。これ以上司祭は聞きませぬぞ。
Man, this has got to be among one of the most antisocial gentlemen that I've met in my life.
時に忍び殿、この辺りで三味線の音を聞いておられぬか。音をたどってきたところ、この井戸穴に行き当たったのでござる。知らぬ。そうでござるか。忍び衆ならば、もしや心当たりがと思うたが。あの調べは誰を呼んでおったのか。なぜだか無性に気にかかる。いや、何でもござらん。忘れてくだされ。
A shamisen, huh? That only you can hear? That isn't ominous or foreboding in the slightest. Also, I would suggest maybe not walking through the front exit of this well, because we now have a lone shadow that awaits here, and in as tiny an area as this is, it's gonna be a rough time. However, something interesting happens if you don't capitalize on the death bubble.
あやつの言っていたふぬけの狼、おらんようだな。無能ゆえ破れ、生き恥をさらす忍びなど、一度見てみたかったが、是非もないか。まことに死なぬなら、機会はいくらでもあろうての。
Actually, hold on. My right thumbstick is not working. That's not good. Give me 1 second because did I break it? Oh, weird. Okay, it just, it works. We're good. What do you have to say? This is the Lone Shadow Long Swordsman, and be prepared to study the hell out of his moveset because you're going to be seeing a lot of him in the late game. So he's got a mercurial kick, which is kind of incredible, but that sweep is also really good for his posture. Ooh. There's one. Let's get in the Ichimonji, and hopefully he does not absolutely smoke us. There we go. This is probably my least favorite arena to fight in, but the camera is actually not doing too bad for us right now. Knock on wood. Get over here. Give me that sweet, delicious leg of yours. Thank you. This is one where you're definitely going to want to keep up the aggression, lest he decides he wants to heal his posture like he was doing there. So Shuriken's definitely good for that. But that big kick is like fantastic. And God, it's these steps on the side that make me jump higher, so I missed the sweep. Okay, this should be good. Thank you. Oh man, again, it could have been worse. God, made me a little nervous there for a second, and we are just on the brink of another level. Now, I might add, this is the same type of enemy that we saw way back in the Hirata estate who was guarding the Mist Ravens, and because our posture and attack are a bit better, that fight isn't nearly as bad, but he does like to break your guard pretty often, and it is kind of a pain in the ass. More scrap iron, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the abandoned dungeon. This is not a very fun place to be right now, and we already caught kind of a glimpse of this place. I want to take you. Okay, oh, and there you go. I'm sorry, did not mean to. Are you gonna give me a level? Hello? What is it with small creatures just eluding my grasp? There we go. Whatever you do, I would probably recommend against fighting this guy, but I feel a little guilty that we really ended up spending a lot of time doing the Dragonrot stuff, so I am gonna maybe make one attempt at it so long as I still have the pacifying agents to make up for it. We have the bulging coin purse, which is great, and I'm just so nervous. This guy is scary as hell. You know what we can do? I'm actually gonna switch out some stuff here. So this can not only reduce terror buildup, but it also increases resistance. We only have 4, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but what I would highly recommend having here is Divine Confetti. If we play our cards just right, we might be able to get this done with only 2. Probably 3 for safety is my normal go-to, but it really depends on just how lucky you are with some of these phases. Oh, you know what? I actually want to make sure that we've got ourselves... Wait, hold on. Jinzaemon, what are you doing here?
Kaskani. だが、わしにはわかるぞ。まるで誰かを呼び、泣いておるような。もしやこのわしを お主。
時折、ああ、聞こえるぞ。なあ、教えてくれ。わしを呼んでおるのか。
どうした？
ああ、忍び殿か。音をたどり、ここまで参り申した。ほら、かすかに風に乗り、この先の穴底から調べが聞こえるでござろ
う。何も聞こえぬ。
そうか、わしにだけ聞こえるのか。まあ、務めなどもうよい。あの調べを追わねば。あの調べはわしを呼んでおる。そんな気がするのだ。
God, this guy needs help, I think. Like serious psychological help. Did death bubbles just pop up for a second there, or was that just me? I am gonna go and run back to the sculptor real quick and also grab ourselves some new skills in the process, mostly because we got the spear, baby. Yeah, this is gonna probably stick in my repertoire for a little bit, but let's go and equip it on in. Please and thank you. Yeah, the loaded spear. And is that all of them? There might be... Oh, right. Yeah, duh. I'm an idiot. As for upgrades, the spear is not really my favorite for upgrades. Some of them are kind of interesting because obviously you can have them reinforced with the spring mechanism and things like that, but they are pretty pricey and not exactly what I want to engage in right now. So for now, I'll probably just hold off on all of these except for the flame vent, which I've actually been missing, at least the spring-loaded version. Use up some of our cash, and we made our proper preparations for the final fight against... Not as bad as the Headless, fortunately, but still terrible all the same. And this is one that you would definitely want the, what was the umbrella called? It's an upgraded version of this, but it helps protect against all types of damage, specifically those from apparitional types. We'll see if we can make it work. None of these are necessarily going to help right now. But I think we'll be just okay for the time being. So let's go and make our way back before ending things off and also making sure we grab the correct skills. You know, I actually did want something specific. One that I've been missing is not only the run and slide, but the Shinobi Eyes, which we will also need Suppressed Presence for. This will increase the damage inflicted to posture when you do a Makiri, and would have been nice to have just then, but alas. We'll go ahead and just leave the rest of that for now, and back to the abandoned dungeon. Ugh. Oof. Yeah, man, I don't know. This might not have been the play. It's pretty terrifying if you ask me, but trust me, this one in particular would not be a bad one to practice on at the very least, because there is another and he is substantially worse. Let's go and start with some confetti, throw pacifying agent on top, and of course, throw in just a little bit of sugar. Because we have ourselves our first instance of a Shichimen Warrior, and this guy is not very pleasant. Just go ahead and get as many easy shots in as you can. After he guards against you and disappears, he's gonna find himself teleporting somewhere completely different. That's not good. I would like to jump in and capitalize on the hits. There we go, good stagger. And then careful, because him disappearing is enough to increase your terror, which is terrible. Oh god, there he is. Well, if I can get him to jump, I can get a death blow too, like this. Oh god, the big boy. I don't know how we avoided that. But keep the divine confetti at the ready. Yes. Oh my god. Okay, now we reapply everything. Because he'll spawn and get a dirty shot in, just like this. God. What are you thinking? You're just gonna hop around? I wonder if I can evoke that more, because... Yes! Oh! How do you like that? Oh my god. He drops the ceremonial Tonto, which converts vitality into spirit emblems. This is a really useful item, and I would definitely recommend picking this up if you find yourself actually using your prosthetic arm. Originally, it was used in a ritual offering to the dragon, in which an emblem would be cut from one's own life force and set adrift on the fountainhead waters. Oh, hot damn. I think you can only get that death blow if you have the divine confetti on, but that only took 2, and like I said, you might want to use 3 or 4 per encounter. Without spoiling too much, the other one that you fight in the game, you can get a death blow on, but again, you need the divine confetti on. That is a lot of soul balloons, man. Some scrap magnetite. Oof. My hands were shaking. I was like, God, I'm gonna get through this entire episode and do like relatively okay against the bosses and then completely whiff it on this guy, but it's pretty seldom that you actually would be able to get death blows on him, since he does not like jumping around like a whiz robe in Breath of the Wild, you know? Yeah, that'll do it. I'm not gonna press my luck any further. What lies ahead is pretty annoying, and again, I'd recommend the flame vent, because we are gonna be dealing with quite a lot of the undead. And also monks. To some, that could be construed as the same, but no hate here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this wasn't a completely and utterly boring ass episode, and I'll see you here in Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice next time.